Hello, hello. Welcome to the Mrs. Best Reviews channel. Welcome back. If you are somebody who has been here before, we are here to do our weekly recap of Love During Lockup. This episode was titled Cut the Cameras. This episode was interesting. I felt like we did get to know a lot about the couples. We also got to meet every couple. We've met them all now. So I'm super, super excited for that, you guys. Let's get right on into it. If you are a creator or anybody who would like to collaborate with me on a recap, podcast, anything like that, tap in. If you are someone who just wants a show recapped, you like watching, feel free to send an email. All the information is going across the bottom of your screen. I do recap shows that you guys suggest to me all the time. Some examples of them would be Buying Beverly Hills, The Never Ever Mets. These are all shows that were recommended to me by the audience, such as yourself. So I appreciate that, you guys. Also, hey, y'all. I won't be on camera, but I always like to pop in and just say hi. We're going to get right on into our Love During Lockup recap. So this episode, we started with Tenny and Rob. Tenny and Rob are the third couple that you guys see on the screen. Listen, the last time we saw Tenny, she was upset with Rob's mom. She went to meet with Rob's mom at Rob's request because they have not been speaking for some time because the two basically have differences. His mom seems difficult, and she was upset that she had to send back some money that was sent to her. So Tenny explains all that she has done for Rob. And she also explains that she is not the person getting in the middle of the issues that he has with his mother. She says that she always tells him because what the mother is upset about is Rob sent her $500 and then had Tenny text the mom to say, hey, you need to send that back. So they played the, I gave you something, but I'm taking it back. And the 90s kids, we call the Indian givers, things like that. But the mom definitely does seem a little bit money hungry. We have to remember Tenny's been holding Rob down for many years. We learned that Rob is doing 16 years on a first offense. He had never been arrested, never been to jail, nothing like that. His first offense was robbery, which is like a big first offense. I think if that's where you start, you probably would have done something way crazier personally. But for your first offense, that is a little excessive. And we know that people who are Black and brown, when it comes to skin color, the minorities are usually sentenced way harsher than if someone was Caucasian, especially here in America. So that is something that does happen. But at the same time, you rob someone. That's one hell of a first offense, dude. But she had basically came up with a petition trying to get him released. She only was able to get 3,000 signatures. The mom didn't even sign the petition. And after Tenny explains all of this, the mom basically was like, all right, I get it. And, the two make peace. The mom said that she gets an allowance, all these other things. Here's my thing. I don't think the mom made peace because she cares to do what's best for her son. I don't think the mom made peace because she cares to have a good relationship with who's important to her child. I think the mom made peace because she wants to keep money coming in, because that seemed to be her only concern. Look what you're driving. I'm supposed to have an allowance. I'm struggling too. Well, you know what? It's not your child's job to take care of you. Now, when my dad gets old and can't take care of himself, I would happily step in. I have other siblings, but I would happily step in and fight to do so. That should be our choice, though. Right now, I don't have to care for him. He's living his life. He's probably on a cruise somewhere. But, I just think his mom is expected a little much, being that she's the mom. But basically, we fast forward after the meeting. Tenny is still upset. She's pissed off because Rob has not called to check on her. He hasn't called to even see how the meet with his mother went. And she's upset about the interaction with his mom. And I don't blame her. I don't. She went there. That lady brought up his ex and all the ex has done. That lady basically disrespected her because she's not getting money out of the relationship. And to me, that's just like not okay. It's not okay at all, because it should be your relationship with your child or anyone important to your child should be more than monetization. That's just my personal opinion. But she turns off all the cameras, which is why the episode is titled Cut the Cameras. And the next day, Rob calls back and he is basically like what's going on. And she explains about meeting with the mom and how she ain't heard from him or nothing like that. And he tries to allude like Teeny is lying about something, which pissed me off because that's a form of manipulation. I don't think Rob is good for Tenny. I don't think it's going to work because you got her in your family drama. You're literally throwing her to the wolves and then not even caring to check on her, which to me is just like whack. Why would you do that? Anywho, so basically, Tenny explains to him that his mom explained that she has an allowance. Tenny had no idea that the mom had an allowance. So she didn't understand why Rob lied about that. And he exposes that he has a portrait of another woman tattooed on his arm, probably the ex, but this has to be an old portrait because you've been in jail for 16 years. You've been in jail a long time. So I'm assuming the portrait is old. But then he says to Tenny, and this is the big news that he's been keeping from her because we learned he had a secret. And the secret is that he has been advised to not take parole, which he was supposed to get in 2 weeks. Now he says that he's just going to do his time. Why is he refusing parole? Because he wants to avoid having to do check-ins and having to do pee tests and drug tests. Why not comply if you intend to do right? I would instantly see that as a red flag because if you're doing the right thing, parole is hard, but you can get through it. Sometimes they'll even recommend you for release early from parole, but he doesn't want that. He has 2 more months, which is not too bad. 2 months, he can get out if he does 2 more months and just be free. He don't have to check in or none of that. I don't know why it worries me. I just don't feel like he's like, I don't know, something about Rob. I don't have much hope that he will end up doing the right thing, if that makes sense, you guys. If that makes any type of sense. I just don't feel like he will. But he's getting off to a bad start. You lying. You keep his secrets. You're putting your girl in situations to where she's having to beef with your mama, putting her in the drama. But then we also have to remember, like, my opinion personally, you guys, is like, why would you put yourself in a situation where you allow a man to have total financial control over yourself and your kids and your life? She can't just up and leave like she would want to. She stated that she struggled heavily before him. I feel like he knew that and preyed on that a little bit. I just don't trust Rob. And I don't normally say that. I'd be wishing and rooting for the best and rooting for people, but I don't trust Rob. You lying about stuff you don't need to lie about, and then you got your girl in drama. Like, Rob, bye. But then at the same time, Tenny, use the house and the ability to just be at home. Use that as a way to, like, get on your feet. Go get you a job. Let him continue paying the bills. You want to lie and do all of that, make sure you got something in your back pocket and a plan to leave him. If you're smart. That's my opinion. Anywho, moving along, you guys, we are going to move on to the next couple. We're going to be going through each couple and what happened with them through the entirety of the episode. Be sure to like the video. I do appreciate you for doing it. So do Speed3ST and all that are helping me in the background here. Like the video. Happily appreciate it. So Ayanna and Jamal are next. They're the couple all the way to the right on the far end. This is our stripper who met her man when he was with her ex-best friend and they were living together. Now she's with him. This is another couple I don't think will make it, and proof that WeTV need to, like, cast better. But we see that Ayanna is on the way to Lancaster to her family. She has family there. And the reason she's doing this is because she's pregnant because she has to go to jail. We last found out that she will basically be going to jail for 15 to 90 days. And Ayanna just doesn't make good decisions. She says that she has a visit with Jamal, who is her man under her, and court on the same day. So instead of spending time with your kids when you know that there's a guarantee that you should be doing some type of jail time, you're more concerned about visiting this man behind bars who you've only been with for a few months, who you stole from your best friend, by the way. Girl, the fact that he'd be willing to date you, who's the best friend of his ex or was, means that he's trash too. You can't, the same way you get him, Ayanna, is the same way you're going to lose him, boo. And I feel like she's really just trying to find love and find a man to take care of her. But girl, you're going about it the wrong way, baby girl. You are going about it the wrong way. Also, a stripper thinks that Jamal is going to cheat on her while she is in jail, because how they both going to be in jail at the same time. And her friend don't trust him. And I agree with the friend. I think the friend is smart. Like, I don't think he's gonna be faithful to her worth a damn. I just really don't. Um, I just can't see it happening. They don't know each other like that well, and Ayana doesn't give me the type of energy that seems like she would choose good men. So we learned that Ayana has 2 kids. One of her kids she does have custody of. The other kid, she chooses to let her son live at her mother's house. She did have her son when she was 17 years old. She said she was a teen. She said that it basically he was there because she was too young to be a mom, which I call BS on. If you was too young to be a mom and you know that, then you were too young. Then that means you was old enough to understand birth control and some other stuff. Like, I hate when people say that. I have so many friends that had kids at 16, 17, some at 15, and no matter what happened, they kept their kids with them. So I guess everybody's circumstance is different, but I'm looking at Ayana with a side eye. But I do respect her for giving her kids some stability, but why do you have one kid with you and not the other? I guess I'm trying to say. Anywho, she drops the kids off at her mom's house. She goes upstairs to the bathroom and she is in the bathroom on the phone with Jamal, clapping ass, talking about how she loves to have sex. I'm not surprised because you do it recklessly. Um, she's clapping ass and showing her breast and all of those crazy things in her mother's restroom while her kids are downstairs. Anybody could run upstairs, anything could happen. Like, have some class about yourself. And yes, you can be a stripper and still have class about yourself when you're not on stage. Like, girl. And if you have to do all of that for your man on the phone, notice every couple where we see the woman doing the most on the phone. Ayana, we see Renika's dumbass doing this with Asante. We've seen a couple of these ladies do this. It never works. It's got to be more of a connection than just that. So, moving it on along, you guys. She goes downstairs to talk to her mom after getting off the phone with Jamal, and her mom expresses that, well, Ayana expresses first that she has concerns about Jamal cheating while she's away. But I will say that Jamal did kind of ease the concerns. He wasn't like, I'm going to cheat back, but he's like, man, that's going to be hard because how are we going to be there for each other when we're both locked up? So that gave me some type of hope. Side note, Jamal kind of looked like my cousin. He looks just like my cousin's doppelganger, and I will be sending this picture to my cousin. But yeah, she has concerns. He has concerns with her mom. I'm thinking she's dropping the kids off, you guys, at her mom's house because she has a plan to, she's already arranged with her mother to watch her kids. Her mom has no clue of anything that's going on. That's how you know Ayana is terrible, because ain't no way. So, she asked her mom if her mom can watch the daughter, and the mom explains that she always has to pick up the pieces. Her mom says, I was a teen mom too. I don't make excuses. I had to do it with y'all, and I had to do what I have to do. Her mom says, I'm already supporting your oldest son. Now I'm going to have to take off of work and lose income to watch your daughter because you're in jail, because the daughter is an infant. She's a baby. This isn't a kid who's gone in school from 8 to 3 or however long. This isn't that. This is an infant. Most daycares are done by 6 p.m., at least the good ones. So it really is a lot that she's putting onto her mom. Grandparents are supposed to be there for fun, not to raise your freaking kids, people. Come on now. But her mom explains she's tired of picking up the pieces and Ayana needs to make better decisions. And Ayana says to her mom, well, you my mom. This is what you're supposed to do, basically. And I was like, you entitled little wench. You entitled hoe of a heifer. What is wrong with you? Your kids are going to jail and you're genuinely more concerned about this man that you're asking your mother at the last moment to watch your child. I get tired of people thinking that just because something comes out of their vagina or their man part, that's a human, that means that they're making the best decisions, because this is not the best decision. It looks like your kids is an afterthought, Ayana. That's just how I feel. You're going to jail for something stupid too, driving while high. Why are you driving while high when you just got a case closed for beating up the best friend after you stole her boyfriend? Of course she's going to be mad at you. You deserve those tires flattened. You stole her man. What are you doing? You broke girl code. Now you're telling your mom that it's her job to do the things that she's doing because she's your mom. She's supposed to help. Correction, young lady. Ayana, parents are supposed to be there for us, yes. If you lose your apartment after trying everything you can, you should be able to go home to live with your parents. Yes, but it's not always that way, baby girl. It's just not. You're at the age where your parents are not supposed to just pick up your pieces. They're not. They're supposed to babysit if you have a job interview you can't go to, that can't get to. They're supposed to babysit if they get called into work for you and they are able, but that they're not supposed to just be raising your kids. They've done that with you already. And even if she made mistakes with you, the way that she corrects them is not by her raising your kids. You should be raising your kids whenever possible. There's some people who would love to raise their kids who aren't able to. And here you are able to, and you just doing all the wrong things. So I don't know, y'all. Ayana, to me, she seemed real entitled. I don't know that I'll change my opinion of that. But at the same time, I do have a soft spot for her. She seems sweet. I think she just wants love. She just needs to be accountable within herself. And I think she'll be okay. Moving it along. Hi, Replay Gang. What's good? What's good? Rick and Samantha, they are the couple. Let's see. If you're looking from left to right, they are the couple second. They are next to the African-American lady in the pink shirt, Shantae. Next to her right, is Rick. Rick and Samantha are older. They're 58 and 56. Samantha is in jail on a felony DUI. She's had quite a bit of DUIs. And it turns out that these two have known each other since the second grade. They dated once in high school. But we find out that Samantha has struggled with alcohol her entire life, she says, and that she's currently in a prison reentry center where she's in jail, but she has to hold a job. She could go to work, little things like that, and goes to sleep at jail. And I like that because that means that she has some type of stability, which is good. So Rick has nieces that he's very close to. He does not have children, but he has nieces who he's very close to who are like children to him. And they hear when he's finishing up a phone call that he has a trust set up for Sam. And they are concerned. And I would be too. I love how concerned they were because it's like, why are you getting this lady money? But we find out that one of the nieces is a correctional officer, a CO. And she says that one of the main things she does when she's at work and she enjoys it is screening emails and phone calls of inmates. And she says that she'll see them get off the phone with their wife and then go email another woman for money. So she's like, Dad, like these people like play people. Like they don't want their uncle to be played. And they also have concerns about Rick because we learned that Rick is also a alcoholic or recovering alcoholic. He is now sober, but he struggled, and I agree with his nieces. Two addicts together, it's not good. I work in crisis center and social work specifically related to addiction and substance abuse. And two addicts together is usually not recommended because they can enable each other in a way that's destructive to their life in almost every way that one could think. So I don't know. I hope that they work out, but it just worries me, the history of them, how long they've known each other. Maybe he could trigger her because it reminds him of the past and vice versa. But we're going to see, y'all, what happens with these two. We will see. But I was happy that we finally met the last couple. They're doing a better job of getting the couples in within the first few episodes is what I will say. So moving on, you guys, Joey and Michael, which are the male couple, our first gay couple on Love After Lockup. I hope to see more. I think it's good to be inclusive. This is not good. So the last episode we left off on, we learned from Joey's sister after his family met Michael that Joey has relapsed. He claims to have been sober for 10 plus years, but his sister exposes that he relapsed less than 5 months ago from when the show was filmed, and he relapsed with Michael. I'm just like, that's not good at all. This is what I mean by two addicts together isn't always good, you know? But Joey is not happy at all. He basically feels bad because his family was super hurt and disappointed learning that, you know, he has relapsed with Michael. He does speak to Michael in a video call, and Michael's like, when Michael finds out about his sister saying something, he's like, well, do they think it's my fault? Are they upset? And Joey's like, no, they understand it's me. And Michael's like, well, I would understand if they felt the way because of that. So it's like Michael does seem somewhat respectful to his parents and all of that. But I do think the reason that his parents are not judging Michael is because his family, unfortunately, is full of addicts. They say addiction is run through their family for generations. And so they can all kind of help each other through their sobriety and understand certain things. But it makes it to where they won't blame Michael because, they teach people who are addicts, like, you are responsible for you. But at the same time, it's not good to put yourself in situations where you're more triggered than you would be. And Joey seems sweet, but I don't think Michael's good for him either after hearing that and some other things. So they talk some more, and Joey asked Michael about his release because he wants to know, how long am I going to be doing this? It's hard to hold somebody down. And we learned that Michael is 3 months away from his parole board meeting, which is the meeting you go to find out if you'll even be eligible for parole, if they'll hear you. And he says that if he has no disciplinary actions and has good behavior and things like that, it could go in his favor. But he also says, but it depends on what they say. Joey wants a straight answer for a release date, but that's hard when people are in jail. You are now the custody of the state or the federal government, and they are slow with paperwork. They are slow with everything that people need, such as freedom, food stamps, COVID funds, you name it. The government take their time. So, I understand him wanting a date, but at the same time, be realistic. And then Joey, it's public info. Go look it up. I don't understand that. But Joey thinks that Michael's not telling him the real release date. He thinks that Michael might think that he'll leave him if it's longer. And it turns out that Joey is right. He does know this man well, because Michael is keeping from Joey the fact that he could be in prison for another 6 years. You're doing this man a disservice. Tell him the truth. I don't trust Michael, though. You got bodies that you slept with while you were in jail. You've relapsed with this man. You're obviously not good for him. If you do care about him, you'll either get it together and do better, keep it real with him, or let him go. I don't really like Michael for him. But I don't think that Michael wants to hurt Joey, but I feel like he will, if that makes any sense. I don't know, but I really like Joey. Joey seems sweet, but I need him to move out of his parents' house and go at sobriety and living alone without having this shell of protection around him. That's how you'll really know if you're, healing and making it through, in my most personal of opinion. So the last couple from this episode, you guys, that we're going to discuss is Shantae and True. They are the couple all the way to the left, the young lady in the pink. They want to own a restaurant together. Apparently, he is in a culinary program in prison, which to me indicates that he's had good behavior in there if they're going to trust you with extra utensils and things that could be used as a weapon. But their little cooking wars that they have together seems cute. I think it's nice that they both have a passion they share, but it gives friend vibes. And I'm like, man, Shantae don't see it. I don't see coupley energy from Shantae and True. They seem like some people that would just be cool ass, partners, cool ass homies who may have slept up once or twice and, slept with each other or something. But I don't know. They just give friend vibes. But then she also gives me the type of energy that she's probably been friend zoned more times than she would like. And she's so great. I do like Shantae, but girl, what are you doing? And y'all gonna see why. So Shantae and True, she goes to see her friend who's African, beautiful friend. And her friend advises her it takes 2 years, because she's serious about opening a restaurant. She's talking about $100,000 loan. And I'm sorry to be all over the place, you guys, but I'm like, girlfriend, Shantae, how are you talking about $100 loan or $100,000 loan when you already have 2 mortgages? She's paying a total of $5,000 a month, which is actually really cheap because in California, that's 1 mortgage in a bad neighborhood. But she's paying $5,000 a month in 2 different states for 2 different mortgages. In addition to that, she wants to get a business loan. She's doing too much at once, and I feel like she's going to put herself in a bad financial situation. So because she wants to open the restaurant, she goes to her African friend who owns a restaurant, looked like Nigerian food. And, her friend lets her know it's going to take you 2 years to make a profit, and that's why you have to be passionate about what you do in restauranting. And her friend also explains to her she should not have a partner. She says when money gets involved, and she wasn't talking about a partner to be with or working with your partner. She said it's best if you can to go into opening a restaurant without having a partner, because her friend said when money gets involved, people's intentions change, which I thought was so wise. So wise. So we will see if Shantae listens, because she's thinking she's going to open this restaurant with True when he gets out. And you can't do everything with felonies. Like, it may be difficult for him to get licensure for certain things, or people may be turned off to your restaurant because of his past. So you never know. I wouldn't recommend it, especially not the history of their relationship. He don't even like black women. He prefers to date women who are not black. So I'm like, why are you trying to do all of this with him? I think she's trying to make herself be the black woman that changes his opinion of black women. That man said he don't like black women, baby. Believe him. I don't know why you with him. It doesn't make any sense. I wouldn't be with nobody who didn't like my race. What I'm gonna do? Change the color of my skin? Hell no. We can't be together. And I'm also looking at him like, what caused you not to like black women as a black man? What happened? What happened? But moving on, you guys, we learned that her stepbrother, Shantae's stepbrother, was in prison with True for some time. Now, if we go back to when we met Shantae in the last episode, she said that the way that she knows True is through her stepbrother. I did not know that she had issues with her stepbrother, though. Now, the stepbrother was in jail with True, but he fell out with Fred, who's a stepbrother. And the reason why is because Fred, Shantae's stepbrother, allegedly stole $5,000 from him when he was the only person in her house outside of her kids. And, Fred says that he didn't do it. He swears he didn't steal the money. But it's like, bro, you were the only person there. And I'm assuming her kids are underage, because if her kids are underage, you would know if they took $5,000. If her kids are adult, one of her kids could have took the money. Either way, why do so many people know the code to your safe? They could know where the safe is, but why did he have the code to get in? I don't understand that. That don't make no sense. So I feel like Shantae can be a little gullible and maybe not always make the best choices. Anywho, Fred wanted him into stealing the money. She's hoping to get paid back some of her money so that she could open a restaurant. And I could tell when Fred walked in, I was like, Shantae, he ain't got it. Do you see him with that deacon's hat on from church? Do you see? No, Fred ain't got it. But True gets on the phone and he's like, you need to pay my girl back and so on and so forth. Just be a man and keep it real. And once he gets off the phone, then Fred changes tune up on True. And he goes, there's things you need to watch up for. If there's things that she needs to watch up for, then why would you set her up with True? Because Fred is the person who set her up. You just deflected because you don't want to pay her back. You also have not said, I did not take the money, clearly. He keeps alluding like he didn't, but why you keep changing the subject? If you didn't take the money, say you didn't take it or find a way to prove yourself. He swear he wasn't in the house, it was somewhere else. Then get you an alibi. Prove it. Fred just seemed full of what. I'm like, dang, she got issues in her own family and with her man. But I don't know. It looks like Fred knows something about True. We're going to find out. And I don't trust True either, y'all. I personally do not trust True worth a day. But it looks like we have reached the end of this recap of Love After Lockup. I'm sorry, Love During Lockup. This episode was titled Cut the Cameras. It was a lot. I think that these people who are free are allowing their partner to have too much power and control and including them into too much of what they're doing, with the exception of Ayanna. I think that Ayanna and Jamal and I can't remember his name, but the guy in the blue who's dating Candace, they just stupid. But I don't know. This is a lot. This is a lot. We'll see. I'm wondering what couples we'll see on Love After Lockup. I'm very, very excited about that. But we will continue to recap this show every single week. We will do it on Saturdays usually. Sometimes it might be on a Sunday, y'all, because I'm busy. But we will be recapping this every single week. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. The next recap that I'll be doing on this channel will be Buying Beverly Hills. I'll be doing that tomorrow afternoon. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are a channel that highlights and focuses on not just television reviews, but place and space that highlights independent artists. So we are going to listen to a song dropped by Osobest and T Madness, who is an artist out of Sacramento. This song is titled Day to Sack. It just came out. It's available on all platforms. If you have kids, there is a clean radio edit for you guys to listen to around your kids. There's also a sped up version and the explicit version. Tap in. Let us know how you feel about the song. We will see you on the next recap. I appreciate all of you and hope that you have a very, very good weekend and week. Thug life and adios.
and respect, man. Look, we got that to cut us to check, man. Got a bad bounce, didn't give a neck, eh? We gon' sip or drink it till the sun rays, nah, nah, nah.
We getting money all season, to be broke is like a nigga not breathing. I put the skeet in the skirt, one hand on the wheel, the other hand in the purse. I'm in a purse, nigga. I'm a tycoon like Mac Drake. My mouthpiece magical when I kick it like Kid and Play. I ain't got no time for no groupie. I got a bad chocolate bone with $1 million pussy.
Ask me that I'm coming next up. Pardon me, I'm not trying to break neck now. But if you bully me right, you get stepped on. From the sack to the bay, we on flex mode. On bosses, I never heard of them. Haters in that back, can't hear a word from them. Just cause they throw they shake, don't mean they will succeed. How much time was a brother at a paddock on GLT? Bring me water one time, I'm overheat. To the pride with the roller come from my feet. Any kind of feeling like a king and tea. Prefer brown skin ladies to roll my weed. Don't care if you like my flow, I flow. You cannot deny I go. Nah, don't really be acting like this, but I'm 1000% fight-ish. Oh yeah.
We getting money all season, to be broke is like a nigga not breathing. I put the skeet in the skirt, one hand on the wheel, the other hand in the purse. I'm in a purse, nigga. I'm a tycoon like Mac Drake. My mouthpiece magical when I kick it like Kid and Play. I ain't got no time for no groupie. I got a bad chocolate bone with $1 million pussy.
No time for no groupies, a queen what I need. Keep your thirst traps stuff away from my place. I'm way too focused if I push it. Achieving my goals if I motive you. If it hand down, I can't pass with you. It's like subject, I hand on the best with it. I hear it taking on that beat in the slap bar. I'm in tune the disc to the guitar. R.I.P. to the Mac, D.R.E. I use a ghost Dewey at the hood hard. From the north to the west to the east, yeah. I'm rapping out until my knees get hard. Shout out every day, listen too short. Keep this nigga in front row for it. Don't give a damn about the hoes on my T-Lo. When I step to the bay, we gon' keep it lit. Oh yeah.